All right, Shalom.
Shalom.
First and foremost, we want to give all praises to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai,
Waha, Rakah, Kodash.
Salakia, Rakah Kadash.
And this is the brother Aina and brother
Ma'ai Kabash.
We're from the GMS Dallas camp. And we just want to get into a quick lesson regarding how our nation is looked at as a lower class, as a lower level, and really we are the most important people on the planet. The Most High esteems us over all the other nations. We want to get that in Deuteronomy 7 and 6, and then we can get the other scripture we're holding. And this is just prophecy because, you know, the Most High set us up over the nations, and if we weren't consistently following His laws, statutes, and commandments, He was going to bring us down low. And we're seeing a result of that today, because us as a nation, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, who are the Israelites, according to biblical prophecy, we don't have any respect in the eyes of these other nations. And like I said, that's because we've been brought down low. But we are the most important people in the eyes of the Most High. Go ahead.
That's right. This is Deuteronomy 7. You said verse 6? Or, I'm Salakia, I'm not the wrong words. Alright. This is Deuteronomy 7, verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy power. The Lord thy power hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself.
Right. So we are a special people to the Lord. We're special. We're separated from Him. We're separated from the other nations. Okay? Meaning we are more important. We're more exalted than the other nations. Okay? In the eyes of the Lord. All right? Is that the end of the verse?
No, it's a little bit more. Above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
Okay? Above all people upon the face of the earth, man. All right? And the Bible is quick and to the point. You know, you don't have to go and do a bunch of calculations to find out that that's talking about the Israelites, man. And like I said, we are the Israelites are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and get that in Deuteronomy.
This is Deuteronomy 28, verse 37. And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations whither Yahweh shall lead thee.
Read up a couple of verses.
All right. When we started, 34 is so that thou shalt be mad.
Where does it say we go off? Oh, you know what? This is the whole chapter basically saying we're going off. Starting at the 15th verse, you know, read the 15th verse and then jump down to the point.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 37, or Salakia. Oh, I'm in 38. Wait.
28 and 37.
Yeah, I got confused. Salakia. All right. This is Deuteronomy 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy power, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Right. So the fact that we're made fun of in the eyes of the nations is a curse. Like we mentioned earlier in the video, for our lack of obedience, because of our disobedience. You see, the Most High, he has pleasure when we are obedient to His will. When we follow the laws, that's why he put them there. You see, all right. And it's a list of curses that we fall under, which is how we know we're the Israelites, because this pertains to our people. Okay, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right, not the ones who are calling themselves the Jews today. Okay, the Jews over there in Israel, they don't fall under these curses. This doesn't isn't a proper description of their nation as a whole. Okay, they're rich. They have dominion over the whole earth. Okay, and the Messiah hasn't came back yet. So we know that they can't be the people because they're in rulership right now, and Yahushua is still uh, uh, he hasn't come back to save his people yet, man. All right, go ahead and get to the point. 37.
Con. This is Deuteronomy 28, verse 37. And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations whither the Lord shall lead thee.
Right. So now every nation that we're in, whether it's China, Japan, uh, India, America, Australia, okay, this countries that's in West Africa, anywhere we go, Europe, you know, anywhere we go, we are a laughing stock, man. Looking for a word?
Con.
Yeah.
I was going to look up astonishment.
Yeah, you know, everywhere you go, man, you see the effects of our people who have been destroyed. Okay. Um,
Slack.
while you get that, I'm gonna get First Kings chapter 9.
Con.
All right, this First Kings chapter 9. It says in verse 6, "But if ye shall at all turn from following me, ye or your children, and will not keep my commandments and my statutes which I have set before you, but go and serve other gods and worship them, then I will cut off Israel out of the land which I have given them, and this house which I have hallowed for my name I will cast out of my sight." All right, and that's what the Lord did. He cast his people out of the land of Israel. Okay, and even more so, it says, "And Israel shall be a proverb and a byword among all the people." Okay, a byword like a curse word. You know, a slandering name, a disrespectful, what they would call a racial slur. Okay, for example, niggas, wetbacks. Okay, uh, uh, tomahawks for the Native Americans, so-called Native Americans. Okay, Negroes, anything that's not really just specifically what our name is. That's what they call us. You know, blacks. They call us the black people. Okay, African American. Those aren't names that describe who we are according to the Bible. And Esau did that in order to confuse us. And but most importantly, we have to realize that the Lord allowed Esau to get in a position to where he was able to delete us from history, delete our history from the textbooks. That's why when you grow up in school, they teach you that you're African. You came over here in slave ships from Africa, okay, and they give you all types of subliminal messages to tell you that you ain't shit, man. Okay, go ahead and get that word, brother.
Con. Astonishment. All right. This is astonishment. And this is coming from etymonline.com. All right. State of being amazed or shocked with wonder.
Right. The other nations are like, what? How can they? How? Because we were once such a great nation, it's hard to conceive that we would ever be brought down. You know, if you were to see our kingdom when Solomon was ruler, or Solomon was king of Israel, and David was king of Israel, we had control over all the nations. All right. And guess what? We weren't pale skinned. We weren't. They weren't the so-called. They call themselves Jews over there. The so-called Jews. Okay. They're so-called white men. Okay. But that was not what the Israelites that were ruling during the time of Solomon looked like. Okay. They looked melanated. Okay. They had woolly hair. All right. This is back in First Kings 9 and 8. It says, "And at this house, which is high, everyone that passeth by it shall be astonished." Okay, and we just got that word astonished. All right, and it says the house which is high. So we were, like I said, high up above all the other nations at one point. All right, it says, which is high, everyone that passeth by it shall be astonished, and shall hiss, and they shall say, why hath Yahweh done thus unto this land and to this house? Get Psalms 44 and 13. Why hath Yahweh done this to this land and to this house? Uh, verse 9, and they shall answer, because they forsook Yahweh their power, who brought forth their fathers out of the land of Egypt, and have taken hold upon other gods and have worshipped them. Case in point, what are we about to enter into now? The celebration of Christmas, which is the celebration of Nimrod's birthday. Okay, celebration of Tammuz. Okay, these false gods, going back to the Egyptians. Okay, going back to the Babylonians, going back to the Romans. These false gods are worshipped by our people and have been worshipped by our people since we came out of Egypt. All right, and that's why it says in finishing off in verse 9, therefore hath Yahweh brought upon them all this evil. The Bible is self-explanatory. It explains why we're in such a dilapidated state right now. Okay, go ahead and get that in Psalms 44:13.
Con. This is Psalms 44 and 13. Thou makest us a reproach to our neighbors, a scorn and a derision to them that are round about us.
Right. We are, like I said, a laughing stock. You know what I'm saying? A scorn. You mocking somebody when you're scorning them. You see, derision. You just laughing at them. You know, not laughing with them. You laughing at them, and that's what they're doing. The nations around about, so-called white man, Chinese, the Japanese, so-called Africans, okay, so-called Arabs. They look down on you, man. You know, they might be buying from you some or doing business with you, or you might be buying something from them. They look at you like a peasant, man. You know, always assume you ain't have no money. You know, they think you're gonna steal from them. Okay.
And if I could say something that's particularly big on, the so-called white man, you know, the brother said, looking at you like you're gonna steal, that's popular if you go to, a store where the so-called white man, is the manager or the owner, the overseer of the store. All right, you know, what you say they'll do? They'll look, they'll look at you like you're gonna steal. So yeah, I just want to, add that in.
Go ahead.
Con. This is Psalms 44, verse 14. Thou makest us a byword among the heathen, a shaking of the head among the people.
They look at us. They say, they see the state that our people are in, and it's really because they put us in that position, and they tisk tisk tisk. They shake their head like poor old black folk, and that's because the Most High put us in a position that is equivalent to scum in the eyes of these people, man, in the eyes of these other nations. Okay, jump to Jeremiah 24:9, brother. Sure.
All right. Make sure that's it. This is Jeremiah 24, verse 9. And I will deliver them to be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth for their hurt, to be a reproach and a proverb, a taunt and a curse in all places whither I shall drive them.
So that's just how we know that we are the Israelites. According to prophecy, we've been scattered around the four corners of the earth, and we've been made. We're like I said, being made fun of. You know, you get the you got to sit in the back of the bus, so to speak. Even though the Jim Crow laws are so-called done away with, they still want to segregate you, man. You know, that's why Jake he'll get a quarter and be satisfied. Esau's not satisfied with $10 though, because he knows that Esau knows that you're in such a the so-called black man is in such a lower state than he is. He'll be satisfied with way less, which is why Jake sell out for crumbs. Can you get Zechariah 8 and start at the 9th verse. Okay. But there's gonna come a day, man, where Yahweh Shem Yashai is gonna deliver his people. All right. There'll be a day where we won't have to worry about sneaking around just to do what we naturally should do. You know what I'm saying? What we naturally feel inclined to do, whether it be deal with other women, okay, uh, establish authority, build houses, you know, rule in righteousness, you know, make fatherly decisions, okay, travel. You know, right now we can't travel. We can't do a majority of those things. Why? Because we're under the curses. Go ahead.
Khan. This is Jeremiah 8.
No, Zechariah.
Oh, Slakia. This is Zechariah 8, verse 9. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, let your hands be strong, ye that hear in these days these words by the mouth of the prophets, which were in the day that the foundation of the house of the Lord of hosts was laid, that the temple might be built. For before these days there was no hire for man, nor any hire for beast, neither was there any peace to him that went out or came in, because of the affliction.
And right now there's a spiritual temple being built. Okay, it's not built yet, but right now there's no peace to those who go out and come in of our nation, because like I said, we're still under the curses. All right, go ahead.
For I set all men, every one against his neighbor.
Right. Case in point, you got Chicago. Okay, Donald Trump is warning or threatening to bring in the United Nations troops in Chicago because of the killings, the murderings that are going on, black on black crime, as they like to say, that are going on in Chicago. Okay, but what about white crime, so-called white on white crime, or white on black crime, or whatever crime? You know, Esau's crimes are way more lengthier. Okay, his track record, his record, is way worse than as far as killing people and taking over and destroying nations. Way worse than ours, man. All right, we kill each other because, well, not us, but our nation, 2/3 of our nation, Wicked Jake, kill each other because Esau put them in that situation to where they gotta fight to survive, man. All right. And even though those people that are killing each other are wicked, Esau is the one who set that up, the projects, right? Go ahead.
Verse 11. But now I will not be unto the residue of this people, as in the former days, saith the Lord of hosts. For the seed shall be prosperous, the vine shall give her fruit, and the ground shall give her increase.
Right. In the former days, we had a grace in the sight of Yahweh Shem Yashai, right? The Lord had favor on us. We were able to take down nations, okay? And that's gonna come again. Go ahead.
Slakia. And the heathen, Slakia, and the heavens shall give their due, and I will cause the remnant of this people to possess all these things.
The remnant of this people, okay? The elect, to possess the entire world. All right, go ahead.
And it shall come to pass that as ye were a curse among the heathen, O house of Judah and house of Israel, so will I save you, and ye shall be a blessing. Slakia, blessing. Fear not, but let your hands be strong. For thus said the
That's it right there. So it says, and it shall come to pass that as you were a curse among the heathen, O house of Israel and Judah, so will I save you. So right now we're a curse, but those who believe on Yahweh Shem Yahshai, the elect, the 144,000, are going to be saved, and we're going to be a blessing in all the earth. You see? So that's the point, man. Right now we're a curse, but we hope to be risen up. All right. And right now we're in those times where Yahweh Shai is going to come back, so it's time to repent and it's time to do the work, man.
That's right.
All right. Hey, so with that, we're going to give all praises to
Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai,
Hashem, Rakah, Kudash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and salutations to the elect of the nation of Israel. Shalom.
Shalom.